Shall we start our class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I audible to everybody? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
we start our class. Yesterday we have last problem was so that z transformation of 1 by factorial n is equal to e to the power 1 by z. It was our last, and hence we valued 1 by this. It was the last part which is already we have done. So again for a recap we are going for this part. Here we have to show that z transformation of 1 by factorial n is equal to e to the power z. Then with the help of this result, we have to evaluate the z transformation of 1 upon factorial n plus 1 and z transformation of 1 upon factorial n plus 2. So from the definition of z transformation, we can write down that z transformation of 1 upon factorial n is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un means 1 by factorial n into z to the power minus n. Now if we put n equal to 0, 1, 2, dot dot, if we put n equal to 0, then factorial 0, 1 and z to the power 0, 1. So 1 into 1, 1. So the first part is coming as 1. When we put n equal to 1, then it is coming factorial 1 in upper half z to the power minus 1. This is that part. If we put n equal to 2, then 1 by factorial 2 z to the power minus 2. Like that, putting z equal to n equal to 3, we got z to the power minus 3 by factorial 3 plus dot dot dot. So that this value means, so we know that e to the power x means 1 plus x by factorial 1 plus x square by factorial 2 plus x cube by factorial 3 plus dot dot. This is the value of e to the power x. If we say that z to the power minus 1 as the x, then this is the value of e to the power e to the power z to the power minus 1. That means z to the power minus 1 means 1 by z. So 1 plus z to the power minus 1 by factorial 2 plus z to the power minus 2 by factorial 2 plus z to the power minus 3 by factorial 3. It can be written as e to the power 1 by z. So we have got the first part. This part is proved. Z to the power 1 by factorial n equal to e to the power 1 by z. Now we are using the shifting property. Shifting 1 by factorial n. Hello? Shifting 1 by factorial n, 1 unit to the left, 1 unit to the left, then it will be given that z transformation of 1 by factorial n plus 1. That means we already know that z transformation of this is z into uz minus 1. So z into uz means z of 1 by factorial n minus 1. So z into, it is already find out here e to the power 1 by z. So we are putting the value of z of 1 by factorial n, that is e to the power z minus 1. So we got this. Now similarly, if we shifting this into the 2 unit, then we got this part. Z transformation of 1 by factorial n plus 2 is equal to z square into uz minus 1 minus z to the power minus 1. Uz means e to the power 1 by z. We are putting the value of uz, then it is coming this. Now today we are interested about the unit step function. How to find out the z transformation of unit step function. Unit, at first here given the two problem. Number one, find the z transformation of unit impulse sequence. Unit impulse sequence is given by delta n equal to 1 when n equal to 0. Otherwise, when n not equal to 0, then the value of delta n equal to 0. This is called the unit impulse sequence. Delta n equal to 1 when n equal to 0, delta n equal to 0 when n not equal to 0. Now we have to find out the z transformation of this. Now from the definition of z transformation of delta n can be written as summation n equal to 0 to infinity delta n z to the power minus n. Now we are putting n equal to 0, 1, 2, dot dot. If we put n equal to 0, then it will be delta 0, z to the power 0 means 1, so delta 0. If we put n equal to 1, then delta 1, z to the power minus 1. It is coming delta 1, z to the power minus 1. When we put n equal to 2, then it is coming delta 2, z to the power minus 2. When we put n equal to 3, then it is delta 3, z to the power minus 3 plus dot dot to the infinity. Now the value of delta 0. When n equal to 0, then value of delta n equal to 1. So only for this delta 0 it is 1, and otherwise delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, all those things are 0. So you are putting all these 0. So value is coming here 1. So jet transformation of unit impulse sequence delta n is equal to 1. Now secondly, we have to find out the jet transformation of unit step sequence un. Here un equal to 0 when n not equal to less than 0, un equal to 1 when n greater than equal to 0. This is called the unit step sequence. When un equal to 0, n less than 0, when the value of n less than 0, then unit step sequence is given 0. When value of n greater than equal to 0, then the value of unit step sequence is given 1. So again we are coming from the definition of jet transformation. Jet of un equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power n. Now putting n equal to 0, 1, 2, dot dot, we got u0 z to the power 0 means 1. So u0 plus u1 z to the power minus 1 plus u2 z to the power minus 2 plus u3 z to the power minus 3 plus dot dot dot. Now this u0, look at the definition of unit step sequence when the value of n greater than equal to 0, either 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4, then the value of un equal to 1. So here in all those cases, the value of u0, u1, u2, u3, it will be given 1. So it is 1, then 1 into z to the power minus 1 means z to the power minus 1. U of 2 also 1, 1 into z to the power minus 2 equal to z to the power minus 2, u3 also 1, then 1 into z to the power minus 3 means z to the power minus 3 plus dot dot dot. This can be written as 1 minus z to the power minus 1 whole to the power minus 1. Actually we know that 1 minus x whole to the power minus 1 equal to 1 plus x square plus x cube plus dot dot. So from this infinite binomial expansion, we can write down this is equal to 1 minus z to the power minus 1 whole to the power minus 1. That means 1 by 1 minus z to the power minus 1 means 1 by z. This z will be coming into the numerator and it is z minus 1. So z transformation of this unit step function is equal to z by z minus 1. Is it understood? Anyone has any doubt, then they can call me where the doubt is getting on. किसी को डाउट है कहीं पे भी? हेलो?
Sir, last second step, sir.
ये स्टेप ना?
Yes, sir.
ओके, एक मिनट. यहाँ पे देखो,
Yes, sir.
it was the formula of binomial 1 minus x whole to the power minus 1. It means 1 plus x square plus x cube plus dot dot. So
Yes, sir.
if it is given 1 plus x square x cube, on this basis we can write down instead of this is equal to 1 minus x whole to the power minus 1. है ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this formula is used there. Actually, that formula is used here. 1 minus z to the power minus 1 whole to the power minus 1. something to the power minus 1 means 1 upon that, 1 upon z to the power minus 1 means 1 by z. So after calculation, this z will be coming into the numerator and it is z minus 1 in the denominator. Now, most important thing of Z transformation is initial value theorem. Look at this initial value theorem. If z of un equal to uz, then u0 is equal to limit z tends to infinity uz. This is the value of u0. At it is starting from 0, so it is known as the initial value theorem. If z transformation of un is equal to capital uz, then value of u0, sequence u0 is equal to limit z tends to infinity uz. So from here we can find out the proof also. We know that uz equal to z transformation of un. Then put the definition of z transformation, that is summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power minus n. Now putting n equal to 0, 1, 2 dot dot, we got this one. Taking limit as z tends to infinity, we get taking the limit as z tends to infinity in the both sides, left hand side as well as right hand side. Left hand side it will be given limit z tends to infinity uz is equal to u0 as z to the power 1 by 2 z to the power minus 1 z to the power minus 2. This part z to the power minus 1 means 1 by z to the power minus z to the power minus 2 means 1 by z square. If z tends to infinity, then 1 by z, 1 by z square, 1 by z cube, all those things are going to 0. That is written here as all z to the power minus 1, z to the power minus 2, z to the power minus 3 tends to 0 as z tends to infinity. Z to the power minus 1 means 1 by z. If z tends to infinity, then it is 1 by infinity. And we are assume that 1 by infinity 0. If z tends to infinity, z to the power minus 2 means 1 by z square. Putting z equal to infinity, then 1 upon infinity, z to the power minus 2 also tends to 0, z to the power minus 3, all the negative power of z going for the 0. So this only first part will be remaining, that is uz. So this is the initial value theorem. So from here we can say that u0 equal to limit z tends to infinity uz this. Is it understood? Why you are taking that limit z tends to infinity? If we take that z tends to infinity, then z to the power minus 1, z to the power minus 2, z to the power minus 3, all those things tends to 0. Because of that, we are assume that 1 by infinity equal to 0. Z to the power minus 1 means 1 by z. Now putting z equal to infinity, that is 1 by infinity, that is 0. Z to the power minus 2 means 1 by z square. Putting z equal to infinity, then it is also 1 by infinity, that is also 0. So every negative power of z is tends to 0 as z tends to infinity. So only the remaining part is u0. So it is u0 is coming. So we can say that u0 equal to limit z tends to infinity capital uz, right? And this theorem is known as initial value theorem. It is very much important for our z transformation. Now we are going for the final value theorem. Similarly, look at this. Similarly, additional initial value can be found successively. U1, U1 will be limit z tends to infinity z into uz minus u0. Z2 equal to Z2 equal to limit z tends to infinity z square uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1 and so on. Now we are going for the next theorem, that is the final value theorem, which is very important. If z transformation of un equal to capital uz, then limit n tends to infinity small un is equal to limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 uz. Limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 uz. This is the value. Now we shall want to prove it by definition. Z of un minus n plus 1 minus un. Hello?
Yes, sir.
बोलो कुछ बोलना चाहते हो? So by definition, z of un plus 1 minus un. It can be written as summation n equal to 0 to infinity un plus 1 minus un into z to the power minus n. Or from here, by the linear property of the Z transformation, we can write down that Z transformation of un plus 1 minus Z transformation of un. Here we are using the linear property of Z transformation, which is already taught in the previous class. Here also we can write down that summation n equal to 0 to infinity un plus 1 minus un into z to the power minus n. Now, in the previous thing it was Z transformation of un plus 1 means uz minus u0. Z transformation of, that is u1, uz minus u0. We are putting this one here. Z transformation of un plus 1 from the shifting property. We can write down z into uz minus u0, and Z transformation of un is equal to capital Un is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un plus 1 minus un into z to the power minus n. Now, if we take common here, after multiplying, it will be coming z capital UZ minus small z u0 minus capital UZ. So from these two, we can take common capital UZ. If we take common capital UZ from this one and last one, this one and last one, then within the bracket it will be coming z minus 1 minus u0 into z is equal to, it is remain unchanged. Now taking the limit of the both sides as z tends to 1. If we take the limit in both sides as z tends to 1, then left hand side will be given that limit z tends to 1 uz into z minus 1 minus u0 z equal to 1, putting this value, it is this. And here it will be given that summation n equal to 0 to infinity limit z tends to 1 un plus 1 minus un whole to the z to the power minus n. Now un plus 1 minus un 0. If we put n equal to 0, then it will be coming u1 and it is u0. So it will be coming u1 minus u0 z to the power 0 means 1. Then if we put n equal to 1, then it will be coming u2 minus u1. It is here. If we put n equal to 3 at 2, then it is u3 minus u2 plus dot 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 whole thing z to the power, and z is as the limit z tends to 1, so 1 to the power something equal to 1, so this z is vanished as 1. As limit z tends to 1, we are putting z equal to 1 here, so no z is occurred here. Only here it will be occurred limit n tending to. Now here after putting the limit we got this. Now here n equal to 0 to infinity, so we can write down that limit n tending to infinity u1 minus u0 plus u2 minus u1. Now look at here, if we find out all those things, then here left hand side will be limit z tends to 1 uz into z minus 1 minus u0 is equal to limit n tends to infinity un plus 1 minus u0, isn't it? Look at here u1, this u1 will be cut. u0 will be remaining minus u0. This u1 and here minus u1 will be cut. Here it is u2, here it is minus u2, it will be cut. Here u3, after that here will be coming minus u3. And un will be cut. Only un plus 1 will be remaining and minus u0 will be remaining. So we are taking here limit n tending to infinity un plus 1 minus u0. So u tending to infinity un plus 1, that means u infinity minus u0. This minus u0 will be cut. So u infinity is equal to limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 into uz is equal to limit n tending to infinity un. So from here only un plus 1 will be remaining and minus u0 will be remaining. All other terms will be cut it down plus minus plus minus. So it is coming limit n tending to infinity un plus 1 minus u0. This u0 and this u0 will be cut. u0 u0 cut. So limit n tending to infinity un plus 1, that is u infinity. So u infinity equal to limit z tends to 1 uz into z minus 1. So this u infinity can be written as limit n tending to infinity un, which was our required proof. It was given in our final value problem that limit n tending to infinity.
सर u1 माइनस u0 कैसे आया उधर?
यहाँ पे
The
सर
UN also remains, no?
u1 कहाँ से रहेगा?
Yes, sir.
Look at here. Here is the u1.
Yes, sir.
If we abolish all the bracket, here is minus u1. It will be cut. Here is u2. Here is minus u2. It will be cut. In here it will be coming that u3 here 1 minus u3 will be coming. u4 minus u3. Next part will be u4 minus u3. Na? That minus u3, this plus u3 will be cut.
सर कट तो हो गया लेकिन आया
Yes,
कहाँ
sir,
से?
understood.
हाँ ठीक है.
u1 माइनस u0 तो कट तो जाता है लेकिन आया कहाँ से सर वो?
यहाँ पे देखो n इक्वल टू n का वैल्यू क्या था? 0 टू इंफिनिटी था. तो n का वैल्यू
Yes, sir.
0 पुट करो यहाँ पे n का वैल्यू 0 पुट करने से क्या होगा? u0 n का वैल्यू 0 पुट करने से ये u1 माइनस u0 होगा ना.
जी सर.
और z का वैल्यू 1 है तो 1 टू द पावर समथिंग इक्वल टू 1. So when we put z equal to 1, this part will be remaining 1. And putting
Yes,
n
sir.
equal to 0, it will be coming u1 minus u0. Putting n equal to 1, it will be u2 minus u1. Putting n equal to 2, it will be u3 minus u2. ठीक है?
ये सर समझ गया.
ये आया. So here minus u0, इसके पहले वाला पार्ट क्या होगा? un minus un plus un minus un minus 1 होगा ना. इसका पहले वाला पार्ट. ये तो लास्ट पार्ट है. इसका पहले वाला पार्ट क्या होगा? un minus
जी सर,
un minus 1. That plus un minus un will be cut. Again this part also cut. Only remaining part is un plus 1 minus u0. That is written here. As n tends to infinity, we can write down n tending to infinity. That means n plus 1 also tending to infinity. So u infinity minus u0. This minus u0, this minus u0 cut. So u infinity can be written as limit z tends to 1 uz into z minus 1. Now this u infinity can be written as limit n tending to infinity un. It was our final value theorem. As it is un is present. Look at here, initial value problem, initial value theorem was indicated by u0. As 0 is the initial value, so it is known as the initial value theorem. As n is the last term of this Zn, so here look at that final value theorem. Here un is present, so it is known as final value theorem. So you have to remember this. Limit n tending to infinity un is equal to limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 uz. This is the final value theorem. And initial value theorem is u0 equal to limit z tends to infinity uz. So we have to remember these two formula to find out the some problem. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we are going for next one. If uz equal to 2z square plus 5z plus 14 by z minus 1 whole to the power 4, then evaluate u2 and u3. uz is given, right? ऊपर से हम लोग अगर जेड स्क्वायर कमन लेंगे इससे तो ये क्या होगा? 2 प्लस 5 इंटू जेड स्क्वायर, जेड बाई जेड स्क्वायर मीन्स जेड टू द पावर माइनस 1 प्लस 14 बाई जेड स्क्वायर मीन्स 14 इंटू जेड टू द पावर माइनस 2. और नीचे से अगर हम लोग जेड टू द पावर 4 कमन लेंगे तो जेड टू द पावर 4 बाहर निकल आएगा. ये रहेगा 1 माइनस 1 बाई जेड, दैट इज 1 बाई जेड को हम लोग जेड टू द पावर माइनस 1 होल टू द पावर 4 लिख सकते हैं. So this z square by z to the power 4 can be written 1 by z square into 2 plus 5 z to the power minus 1 plus 14 z to the power minus 2. नीचे 1 minus z to the power minus 1 whole to the power 4. Now by initial value theorem we know that u0 equal to limit z tends to infinity uz, isn't it? equal to 0. If it is uz equal to this, if z tends to infinity, that is 1 by z, that tends 1 by z square, that tends to infinity. Sorry, z tends to infinity, so z square tends to infinity, so 1 by infinity is equal to 0, so 0 into something is total part is 0, initial value. When we put similarly u1, previously from the u1 was limit z tends to infinity, z into uz minus u0, that is also 0, है ना? देखो ना uz z tends to infinity uz ये 0 है और u0 भी 0 आया, तो ये भी 0 है, ये भी 0 है, इसके साथ z मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो बोथ ऑफ देम विल बी गिवन 0, तो u1 ऑल्सो 0. u के लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं, लिमिट z टेंड्स टू इंफिनिटी z स्क्वायर इंटू uz माइनस u0 माइनस u1 इंटू z टू द पावर माइनस 1. ठीक है, so limit z tends to infinity z square. Now put the value of uz. Value of uz was 1 by z square, 2 plus 5 z to the power minus 1 plus 14 z to the power minus 2 by 1 minus z to the power minus 1 whole to the power 4 minus value of u0 already we have find out 0 and value of u1 also 0, so we are putting the value of u0 u1 here. So this two part is 0. Now it is coming z square will be cut, na? This z square and this z square. So only here is 2 plus 5z to the power minus 1 plus 14z to the power minus 2 by 1 minus z to the power minus 1 whole to the power 4. Now as z tends to infinity, so z not equal to 0, so we can cut it down z square. Now this z to the power minus 1, as z tends to infinity, z to the power minus 1 tends to 0, as z tends to infinity, z to the power minus 2 also giving 0. So this part 0, this part 0, but 2 is coming here. 2, 5 into 0 plus 14 into 0. Here 1 minus this part is 0 whole to the power 4. That is written here. 1 minus 0 whole to the power 4. So this is 0, 0 by 1, it is 2. So 2 is the result. आया समझ में? Now we have to find out the value of u3. u3 equal to limit z tends to infinity z cube uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1 minus u2 z to the power minus 2. So already this u0 u1 is given 0, so this two part will be given 0. Value of uz is putting here. Here z cube is remain unchanged. Now value of u2. Value of u2 already we have got. This is the value of u2 2. So it will be given 2 z to the power minus 2. But yet it will be given 0 as z tends to infinity. Look at here. So z cube limit z tends to infinity z cube into 1 by z square into this one. So it is 2z square plus we are just putting the value of uz 2z square plus 5z plus 14 into z minus 1 whole to the power 4 minus 2 by z square. This is 2 by z square. Now this is after the taking LCM, that is z square into z minus 1 whole to the power 4, then it will be, this part will be multiplied by z square, then it will be 2z to the power 4 plus 5z cube plus 14z square minus 2 is multiplied by z minus 1 whole to the power 4, this into here it is z cube. Now write down here the value of z cube, it is remaining unchanged, minus 2 into, just make it into the binomial a minus x whole to the power n formula. A to the power n minus nc1, here n equal to 4, nc1 z to the power n minus 1 plus nc2 z to the power n minus 2 minus nc3 z to the power n minus 3 plus 1. This is the value of this. Now 2z to the power 4 plus 5z cube. Now withdraw the bracket. Then it will be coming 2z to the power 4 plus 5z cube plus 14z square minus 2z to the power 4 minus minus plus 4c1 means 4. 4 into 2, 8z cube. Here 4c2 means the 6. 4 2c means 6. 6 into 2, that is 12z square. 4 C3, that is also 4. 4 into 2 minus minus plus 8z, then minus 2 into 1 minus 2, and whole thing z. Because of that, this z square and z cube is cut, only z is coming here. So from here it is z minus 1 whole to the power cube. So 2z to the power 4 minus 2z to the power 4 is cut. As z tends to infinity, z not equal to 0. So we can cut the z here. Actually, this z should be out of the bracket. Otherwise, we can put it here also, because of that here total bracket is done here. So z equal to this. So after calculation, it will be coming 13z to the power 4 plus 2z cube plus 8z square minus 2z by z to the power 4 into this. So if we take that limit z tends to infinity, then and taking common from here z to the power 4 and here also z to the power 4. If we take common z to the power 4 from the numerator, then it will be 13 plus 2 by z to the power minus 1 plus 8 by 8 into z to the power minus 2 minus 2 into z to the power minus 3. See all those things, z 2 into z to the power minus 1, as z tends to infinity, z to the power minus 1 0, so 2 into z to the power minus 1 0. Again, as z tends to infinity, z to the power minus 2 is equal to 0, 8 into z to the power 0, this is 0, and this is also 0, and here this part is 0, so 13 will be the value. So value of u3 equal to 13. So this kind of the relation is known as the recurrence relation. Because of that, every time we have to use the previous relation. To find out the u3, you have to use the u0, u1, u2. To find out the value of u2, you have to use the value of u0, u1. To find out the value of u1, you have to use the value of u0. And value of u0 is coming from initial value problem. So this kind of the relation is known as the recurrence relation. Every time previous thing is recurred. So it is known as recurrence relation also. Sometimes it is called the recurrence relation. So this is very important problem. It is might be coming your semester exam or any kind of, and this Z transformation is very much important from the for the EC people. Those who are lateral entry EC branch, this Z transformation is very much important. Is it understood this one? ये वाला पार्ट समझ में आया U3? How we are find out the U3?
Yes, sir.
Here just using the formula. Look at here when we are going for the initial value theorem. Look at here initial value theorem. This is the U is equal to this. Initial value theorem. On that time we are write down that additional initial value can be founded successively. U1 equal to limit z tends to infinity z into uz minus u0. U1 is calculated from here. U2 means limit z tends to infinity z square uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1. Then what is the value of u3? What is the value of u3?
Z cube uz minus u naught minus u1 z inverse u2
Minus u2 z to the power minus 2. Right? So this part is used here to find out that. Look at here. U0 was initial from the initial value problem, that is 0. U1 is z into uz minus u0, that is also coming 0. Then we are find out u2. U2 was z square uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1. Then when we find out u3, z cube uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1 minus u2 z to the power minus 2. ठीक है? These are used here. So every time we have to familiar with the, we have to remember the previous one, what we have find out. If this kind of the relation also called the recurrence relation of our Z transformation, recurrence relation. Because of that, every time for U3, we need to find out the value of U2, U1, U0. Previous thing is required. Every time previous thing is recurrent. So it is known as the recurrence relation also. Now some useful inverse Z transformation. So next day we will go for the inverse Laplace Z transformation. Use full inverse Z transformation. If uz equal to z by z minus a, then inverse Z transformation is a to the power n un. If it is z square by z minus a, then it is n plus 1 a to the power n this. If it is z cube by this, then 1 by factorial 2 n plus 1 n plus 2 a to the power n un. 1 by z minus a, that is a to the power n minus 1 un minus 1. Shifting left right. 1 by z minus a whole square n minus 1 a to the power n minus 2 un minus 2. 1 by z minus a whole cube is equal to half n minus 1 n minus 2 a to the power n minus 3 u n minus 3. Now next thing is the convolution theorem, which is very important. If z inverse uz equal to un and z inverse vz is equal to vn, then z inverse uz into vz can be written as summation m equal to 0 to n um v n minus n. v n minus n, and it can be written as un star vn. This star means the convolution notation, where the symbol star denotes the convolution operation. Look at here, we have uz equal to value of uz summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power minus n, vz equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity vn z to the power minus n. So uz into vz, that is this into this. Now after that, if we multiply by u0 vn, last part from here nth part, u0 vn plus u1 vn minus 1 plus u2 vn minus 2 dot into z to the power minus n. So z into u0 vn plus u1 vn minus 1 plus u2 vn minus 2 plus dot un v0. So z to the power minus 1, if we divided by this z here, then it is z to the power minus 1 uz into vz equal to summation m equal to 0 to n um v n minus n. The convolution theorem